Point. My name is Natalie Pike and I'm still joined in the studio today by Paul Dickov and by Richard Dunne. So not the way we hoped our 2022 would be starting, Paul.
No, not at all. Got to give Arsenal a lot of credit. I was quite critical before the game of them, especially in the games against the teams that are up there at the top. But they've come out. I think after about 5 minutes, Dunne said that they're actually playing with the ball like Man City. They're looking to get it between the lines, looking to get it wide. And when they've not had the ball, they've pressed us really well. So you've got to give them a lot of credit for that. But looking into the second half, we will be a lot better. Yes, no panic stations yet. We've got the whole second half to go. But in terms of that first half, Richard, a deserved lead overall for Arsenal.
Yeah, definitely. I thought they were surprised by them, by how good they were. And I think when you look at that first half from Arsenal, it's probably the best they've played all season. That's the maximum their players have got. Whether they can keep that going again in the second half's another thing. But very, very impressed with them, and they've made it really hard for City to get any sort of rhythm going. Certainly in the attacking areas, and they've pressurised. They've been very, very impressive and well worthy to be 1-0 up.
A few of the kind of talking points from the first half. First of all, in the 10th minute, there was that penalty shout. So it was Odegaard and Edison went in with a tackle, and VAR looked at it and said no penalty. What did you make of it, Paul?
I was a bit worried at the time, in real time when you've seen it, but when it slows down, it's actually a really good tackle from Edison. We do know that he likes to come off the line. I said to Dunne, if it had been a centre half that had made that challenge, you'd be saying what a great tackle it was. But yeah, a little bit nervy, but that sort of set the tone for the game a little bit. It was a great move by Arsenal, and Arsenal grew in confidence after that because they felt as if they could get at Man City's back four.
Yeah, I agree with Paul on that, Richard. On the one angle, I was like, oh no, it's a penalty, and then you see it on the other angle, and you're like, wow, yeah, he tips the ball. It was a great challenge.
Yeah, it was one of those situations when you needed VAR because it wasn't clear, and it did take a little bit of viewing to understand what had happened. But it was a fantastic challenge, and it was needed, I suppose, at the time. It sort of gave Arsenal the confidence to say our patterns of play are working. We're pulling City from side to side, and we're getting through. But in terms of the tackle, it was fantastic.
No shots on target for City in the first half. Diaz and Jesus, they both had headed opportunities, that went wide, but unusual for us to have no shots on target.
Yeah, it is. You've seen how disappointed Ruben was, especially free header. Ramsdale's come out and was in no man's land, so you would fully expect him to score. But to have no shots on target, it just we're usually that dominant. We're usually recent games are scoring really early, especially in the first half as well. So, but we've got the best manager around. And at half time, I can see him maybe tweaking a few things tactically, go out in the second half and be a lot more attacking than what we've been.
I think it's been a disappointing first half attacking-wise from City. They've just not had that rhythm, and I do agree with Paul. I think the manager's come up against the challenge which he needs to fix at half-time. They've probably come in with one sort of style of play that we're going to do because this is what Arsenal do. But Arsenal have been different today. Arsenal have been really, really aggressive in what they do and really positive in how they play. And I think the manager will have to tweak a few things, and hopefully we get to see his genius come to fruition in the second half.
Yeah, so big half-time talk now from Pep.
Huge. Very important because when you're winning games, it's easy. Just carry on, lads. Keep doing that. We've got the ball. We're doing it. But now they're losing. Now they're losing, and they're in danger of going forward. They're behind rather than looking like they're getting back on top. So there is something that needs to be changed at half time.
I think Raheem's been our most dangerous player. Every time he's got the ball, he's looked a threat. It looks as if he's really at it. And I would maybe like to see him swap with Gabby for 20 minutes and cause the two centre-halves a bit more problems. Gabby, as good as he is, he's coming to feet all the time. We've not really got that threat in behind, whereas, Gabriel and Ben White, they don't want to be running towards their own goal, and that's what Raheem wants to do. So maybe flip they two around a little bit and then see how that works.
So the goal came for Arsenal in the 31st minute. It was a goal by Saka, and City looked a bit stretched, Richard.
They did. They broke, and I think it was Ben White who intercepted it in Arsenal's half, and then they played very much like City. They played it into midfield to get out the other side, and they moved the ball so well and so quickly. And then when Tierney seemed to have loads of space up that left-hand side because they double team and Cancelo all the time, and then the pass in and the finish were great. There's just seen a lot of space for Tierney though, and Saka, who we know is a dangerous player, come in, and his finish didn't give the goalkeeper any chance.
I think it was clever play by Tierney as well, because when he gets the ball in that position, you expect him to whip the cross in the box. You see him do that all the time, but he just had a little look up and passed it into Saka, and it was a great finish and a really good team goal by Arsenal.
So we mentioned it's a big team talk there. Can you see any immediate changes, or how do you envision the second half is going to be playing out, Richard?
I think he might make changes at half time. I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Walker came into the team, whether it be for Ake or Cancelo, but I think Martinelli has caused Cancelo some problems down that wing, and when he does get the ball, he's dangerous. He wants to dribble and run at players, and he's been good. So maybe Kyle Walker, and just to start and then see how it goes. But it's really exciting second half in store.
Yeah, I really fancy us coming right out of the traps, Paul, and starting the second half with a lot of intensity.
Yeah, I do, and maybe get back to, I don't think we've pressed as well as we normally do when Arsenal put the ball at the back in the middle of the park, so expect a fast start and start pressing higher up the pitch, and then when we win it back in their half, then we can get at them at the minute. And when we're winning it back, it's either with our back four or Ederson, and it's been difficult for us to get out, so we start pressing higher up the pitch. Talking about subs, I think Jack Grealish as well. We need somebody that's going to get us up the pitch and dribble and commit people as well, and we all know that Jack can do that.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Jen. So 1-0 at half-time as it stands. So ready for a big second half from the lads. Right. Cryptic City time. Thank you so much for sending in your guesses using hashtag Man City. You're doing a great job. These two absolutely smashed it. Well, Richard absolutely smashed it, and then Paul did well. Richard got it in about 30 seconds. So if you haven't had a look yet, or you haven't been able to guess, you've been waiting for this, here are the pictures. So say what you see. Put them together to give yourself the name of a current or former Manchester City player. Now, Richard give you some really good clues. Actually, between them, they managed to give you the clues for all of the pictures. So, Paul, just give us a refresh of some of those pictures for anyone that's a bit stumped at home.
Yeah, David Bowie's wife, Iman, as Dunne rightly said, Jason Newell, then Adele, and then
we think it's the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco Bay, and Lionel Messi winning his 6th or 7th Ballon d'Or.
20th,
whatever.
So the gents, to give you a clue, have said everything you need to work this out. Everything you need there. You can get this. Come on, send in your guesses to hashtag Man City. Now, you've also been sending in your questions on our WhatsApp number, so thank you so much for contacting us via WhatsApp. We love hearing from you. We love all your questions as well. Brandon has said 2022 for City, Premier League tick, Champions League tick. That's it, Brandon. Let's aim high. I like that. Right, some questions for you both, gents. With only 3 matches left to play in January, will some players be given time off to recover from the Christmas period, do you think, Paul?
Yeah, I think they will. I think Pep, historically, when there has been a break, he likes to give the players 3-4 days off, and, they deserve it. The amount of games they've played, they've been relentless in everything that they've done. So any opportunity, I think especially at the minute, to get any sort of break, days off, chill out and get ready to go again.
Yeah, it's such a difficult period because you don't want players going away and mixing with anyone else, so you almost want to keep them together. But in terms of having the FA Cup against Swindon coming up on Friday night, that's an opportunity to use the academy players that we've seen in and around the squad all year. Did
you ever get the opportunity to kind of go away in January or something?
Yeah.
I know. You did? Nice.
We used to get...
We weren't supposed to, but we did.
There was... it wasn't a perk, but when we did get knocked out of the FA Cup, it was normally a free weekend, and it was a trip away somewhere else. But, yeah.
Warm weather training, it was called.
Hold on a minute. So you were off on holiday and we were at home crying because we weren't in the 4th round?
Training it was.
Training, of course it was. Punishment. Thank you. Richard, Darryl Land has said, as Arteta isn't there today, do Paul and Richard ever remember playing under a caretaker manager, and how did this impact theirs and the team's performance?
A caretaker manager, yeah, for an international once, and it's difficult because as much respect you have for the second guy, he's more of a mate than the manager would be. So you have that different sort of relationship, and whether you can take those firm instructions as seriously as you would from the actual boss. But I mean, it doesn't seem to have had any effect whatsoever on Arsenal today. So they've obviously got huge respect for the guys that are in charge today.
Yeah. Any recollections, caretaker managers?
Oh yeah, got my first 5 months here. I had 5 different caretaker managers when I signed. So I was quite experienced in that. So it just seemed to be the norm when I first signed here.
Now, I also would like to give a shout out to Scott. So Scott has sent us in a WhatsApp. Scott lives in Dallas, Texas. Hey there, Scott in Dallas. Now, Scott has told us that City has given him his love for football back. He says, I've been living in Dallas for almost 15 years, and for a long time I lost touch with football. But I was invited to go watch a game at a British pub, and I fell in love with football again. He's made some amazing friends, and he's been a City fan ever since. And he says, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything that you do. So, Scott, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us all the way from Dallas in Texas. Right, gents, second half is coming. We're losing, but I still feel fine because we have at least 3 or 4 gears that we can step into in this second half.
And we say it all the time. If we play as we can play, and as good as we are, we'll win. We'll win the game. You know, I'm just my score prediction. I did say 4-1, so I'm expecting 4 goals in the second half.
Yeah, you're still on for that. You're still
Absolutely,
on for that. Yeah, you could change yours to 3-1 if you want, Dunne.
Yeah. I think one of the problems which Arsenal have to be credited for is when City have started to play, certainly from the back, they've blocked off the passes, but if there's any sort of hint of a counter-attack, they make fouls. And it's what Man City do a lot. They disrupt the rhythm of opposition teams, and Arsenal have done it well. So that forced pass from City needs to be quicker, needs to be past players, breaking lines and getting in behind. And then whether Arsenal have got the stamina to keep this level of play up for 90 minutes will be interesting to see.
Thank you very much. That's the thoughts of Richard Dunne and Paul Dickov. We'll be back here at full time, where we will hopefully be talking about an incredible Manchester City comeback. For the time being, get yourselves onto the City app for the commentary for the next half from the wonderful Alistair Mann and the brilliant Michael Brown. Right, Blues, big 45 minutes. We'll see you then.